I want to talk to you about content marketing strategy, but the kind of strategy that gets leads, that gets sales, that actually generates revenue into this conversation. Okay, so let me first give you a few trains, a few top trains I want you to pay attention to. The thing is that if you're putting in the effort and time and resources to create and publish content for your business, for your organization, for your nonprofit, for yourself, you want to make sure that you are doing it right, right? Because doing it right means what? Means maybe generating traffic, building trust with your audience, and even generating leads, if not sales, okay? So the best way to do that is to have a solid content marketing strategy. Solid means that it has to be documented, it has to be implemented, okay? So into this conversation, I'll cover actually what a content marketing strategy is, why your business needs a content marketing strategy, and how to develop a lead generating content marketing strategy. So first of all, let me define for you what a content marketing strategy is, okay? Nothing really complicated. A content marketing strategy actually is a plan for growing your brand's audience by creating and distributing content that engages, educates, or informs. So this trifecta is really critical, okay? Engaging, educational, or informative. It can be either or it can be all three at the same time, okay? So now this definition explains what a content marketing strategy is, right? But there are some parts that you will need to define for your business. Every business is different, right? So you want to make sure that you have the right definition for your business. And so that's for content marketing strategy definition. Now, why does your business need a content marketing strategy for lead generation? Well, because your strategy will, because your content marketing efforts will actually be more effective, not to mention more efficient, with a documented plan in place. Okay, you have a lot of experts who actually believe that you got to have a plan in place if you are planning to succeed. Okay, I mean about 62 to 70% of marketers of advertising experts think that a content marketing strategy plan can really help you big time. So let me talk to you now about the methodology. So really, big question is what are the steps you need to really put in place to develop a lead generating content strategy this year? The very first thing you want to do here is you want to really set your goals. Okay, again, without goals, you can't go anywhere. Goals are really important, and your goals have to be in sync with the kind of vision you have. So your business has a vision when it comes to content marketing, or your business just has a vision when it comes to overall market success. Okay, so you want to really fit your goals, your content marketing goals, into that vision. And so that's the first step. So the first step in your content marketing plan, or let's be honest, any plan, is to set any goals. So you want to ask yourself what you are hoping to do. You want to ask yourself why you are creating content in the first place. Again, it doesn't matter at this point who's going to create the content. Okay, whether you're creating yourself or whether you are outsourcing it to a team of freelance writers, or you are using artificial intelligence to actually like you're using AI agents to write the content for you. It doesn't matter. Your goals are going to be quintessential at the very top of the lead generating content strategy. So, in this case, into this conversation, the short answer is to probably generate leads and possibly revenue. So that's a great place to start, but it's not quite enough, really, if you think about it. You need to make sure that your marketing objective is something you can act on. Okay, so this is why I actually recommend a plan or an acronym that has been used over and over and over again in marketing, and that's actually SMART. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So, for example, instead of saying your goal is to generate more leads or more sales, set your goal to generate 25% more leads or 25% more revenue from content over the next 2 quarters. That's something you can track, measure, and actually work towards. Next, you want to get to know your audience. If you are trying to create a content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales, your audience are going to be the one to actually help you. Okay. So you want to identify your audience in order to create content. And when I say identify your audience, I'm really talking about going as granular as possible. You want to have an avatar. Okay. It's like if you are trying to advertise on Meta, on Facebook or Instagram, or advertise on Google, or advertise anywhere on Bing, those platforms want you to be as granular as possible, right? It's the same thing. You want to really identify your audience by interests, by age and gender, by location, by whatever, And this is what experts call psychographics. You want to really get to know your audience by psychographics. So the best way to do this is to take a closer look at your buyer personas. So these are actually semi-fictional profiles of your ideal customers, and they are excellent tools for content marketing strategies. So you want to use these personas as a starting point for creating, let's say, content that your audience would want to consume, right? Keeping content marketing trends in mind as well. So after all, you are creating a content marketing plan to generate more leads, to generate more sales. So you should be creating that content with your ideal customers in mind in the first place. So ask yourself some questions based on your personas. What are your personas concerned about, right? What do your personas want to learn more about? What do your personas want to get better at? And what are your personas reading or watching? So you are trying to really understand them, but also understand their pain points. So the first few questions are great for thinking of topics for specific blog posts, videos, or themes you can cover. For instance, if you think about having, let's say, a lead generating content marketing strategy, you can think about, content marketing. You can also think about ways to trigger, okay, to trigger more efforts from your team. And the last question is actually the last question: what are your personas reading or watching? This is a great way to get started with some competitive keyword research. Okay, so that's pretty good. Next, you want to start your keyword research. So if you are actually thinking about a content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales, start your keyword research. So in order to create content that generate leads or even revenue, you need to make sure it's reaching people. So I'll talk more about distribution channels later, but you should have SEO in mind from the beginning for most of your blog posts and even videos. By the way, okay, you have to understand that 63 to 70% of web pages don't get any organic traffic at all. You don't want to be a part of that statistic, okay? So use the topics that your ideal customers are interested in as seed terms to start your search in your keyword tool. And when your results come up, consider your audience again and how interested they would be. And the other sites your ideal customers are reading, well, use your keyword research tool to see what their top ranking pages are and what content generates the most traffic for them. So this can be a great place to find video or blog post ideas for your brand. You don't want to recreate content, but if it's out of date or not a good match for the search term, you can write something better. And you should always try to write something better. You also want to pay attention to a search intent. Okay, search intent actually is pretty good because it describes the purpose of an online search. So when you are looking for something to make for dinner after work, you might search 30-minute dinner. The goal is to get a recipe that you can make in about half an hour, right? You're not looking for a definition or an explanation or to make a purchase. That's not the search intent here. So you want to rank organically and you want to offer your audience what they're looking for. That's why search intent is important to keep in mind. There are actually four common types of search intent. So you have navigational, informational, transactional, and commercial. So this is pretty good. So for your content marketing strategy, You want to focus on informational and commercial intent. Someone looking for educational content about a topic or looking for information to influence his or her purchase, it can be really fantastic. Okay, leave the navigational and transactional to any login or pricing pages your company has. Next, you want to create high quality content. So if you really want to beef up your content marketing strategy, and we want the strategy to lead to sales, to lead to more qualified leads, you have to think about high quality content. So one thing I want to say here is that high quality content is not just something that you can decide overnight. A lot of work has to get into it. I mean, as of the date of this show, there are about 4 to 5 billion web pages indexed. Okay, that doesn't mean all of this rank, but it does mean that regardless of your brand's focus, you are going to have some competition. Even more, you're going to be competing for attention. So, I mean, we all spend time on our phones, answering emails, watching Instagram reels, or scrolling through TikTok, and then we get that wave of shame when we see screen time reports every week, or maybe the last one. The last one is just something that you might think you can fix. Regardless, the average person spends about 7 to 10 hours online every single day, and a big portion of that spent consuming content. So, in order to hold your audience's attention, you need to be creating great content. That's how you really exist. That's how you survive. You have to create great content. And so, what I want to say here is that you need to understand that there are lots of opportunities for great content across the content marketing funnel. Okay, so the content marketing strategy is a good place to start. Once you are ready, be sure to create content that answers your audience's query and offers your audience value. Then take the time for content editing to ensure you're not missing any mistakes or opportunities. Okay, and so that's how you can create high quality content that not only deserves to rank, but also generates high quality leads for your business this year. So if you want to really set up a content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales, I want you to really also think about optimizing your content for conversions. So, in order to capture those leads, you need to optimize your content for conversions. So, for your video marketing, for instance, that means what? It means focusing on your thumbnails or adding your content with a CTA, call to action. For your blog post content, that means strategically placing CTAs throughout your posts. So, the best way to do this is to align your CTAs with your content. So, what does this mean? It just means that you are making sure that you are having content that fits with your CTA and the other way around too. So another way to optimize your content is to offer gated content, like a spreadsheet or a template that users have to provide their email to obtain. Okay, this is really important, and especially if you are trying to get to build your email list real fast. You also need to determine your distribution channels. So if you are thinking about a content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales, your distribution channels are going to be quite essential. So once you have created your marketing collateral and made sure it's optimized for leads, distribute it. Okay. You might be wondering now why you need to do this. You know, because you have already optimized it for keyword and search intent, right? But the goal here is to get your content to as many interested people as possible. So you need to do more than SEO. So this is one thing that's important. So after you have posted your content, say on your website, you want to share it also on social media, send a compelling email to your database, post on relevant Reddit or Quora trends, or even use it for a webinar or conference materials. On Reddit, for instance, you have those subreddits. So you also want to think about repurposing. So repurpose your content in multiple mediums for maximum distribution. You can use part of a blog post to script a video, use multiple blog posts to build a guide, and make a chart from a data project into an infographic. That way, you can use one or two pieces of content to create four or five different types of, let's say, of a content that you can use in your email marketing, across your social channels, and even throughout your website. The last thing you want to do here when it comes to having a successful content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales in this economy is to really keep updating. Okay, you can't just, it's not a, I do it once and it's a done deal. No, this is a very shifting economy. Consumers' interests are changing all the time, so you have to keep updating. Okay, so after you have distributed your content and started counting your leads, you're not exactly done. So content marketing trends change, so your strategy needs to include a plan for updating your old content. You saw what happened a couple of years ago with COVID. All of a sudden, things nobody thought about, it happened and you had to adjust. So that's important. So when I speak about actually updating your old content, you want to really understand that you want to do this thoughtfully. So let's say your company sells electric cars. So a short post announcing a new location opening up, probably not necessary to update. Okay, a cornerstone blog post on the emissions from standard and the potential environmental impact of switching to electric might be worth checking in on new research to make sure you are offering the best information to your audience. So bottom line here is what you want to make room for monitoring the performance of your content and then updating as needed. So that way you have content that can always, and I mean always generate the leads for your business in the background. And also a content audit could really help you out here. So this is important. So bottom line here is that this is a work in process, and you have to really think of it over the long run. Okay. So basically, what I spoke about a lot of stuff today. Let me just quickly recap it for you. Okay. So when I speak about content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales, you want to start with setting your goals. Okay. This will help you big time. Then you want to identify your audience, start your keyword research, pay attention to search intent. That's going to help you. Pay attention to that. Create high quality content. You want to optimize your content for conversions. You want to determine your distribution channels. And you want to keep updating over and over and over. So, as a coda to this conversation, I spoke to you about the content marketing strategy that gets leads and sales. I'll give you the top trends, the methodology afterwards. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.